I fed dates fruit to about 2,000 peanut beetles for 24 hours. Do they like it? Let's find out. Hey beetle buddies, today we're trying something new, date fruit. Let's get this experiment started and see how our little friends react to this interesting food. Let's place the date fruit in the habitat and see what happens. I'll check back in 12 hours to show you how they're doing, and then again after 24 hours to see the final results. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss any of our beetle adventures. Act 1. Exploration. When I start the experiment, I usually wait for the first beetles to come out and see if they're interested in the food. This time we give them dates fruit. Dates are a type of fruit that comes from the date palm tree, which grows in hot, dry climates like the Middle East and North Africa. They're known for their rich, slightly sweet flavor, but the ones we're using today have a bit of a bitter edge and are firmer than most fruits. Dates are packed with natural sugars, fiber, and vitamins, making them a nutritious snack for humans. But how will our peanut beetles react to this? Will they be curious about the firm texture and subtle sweetness, or will they find it less appealing?
Have you noticed? As soon as the date fruit is placed in the habitat, the beetles start exploring. Interestingly, many of them seem to be more interested in the piece at the back, crowding around it. But let's take a closer look at what's happening with the front piece. Even though the back piece is attracting more attention, the front piece with the screw is still drawing in some beetles. You can see a few of them climbing over the screw, exploring the surface and nibbling at the fruit. They're a bit more spread out here, not as packed together as on the other piece, but they're still curious. The metal screw doesn't seem to bother them at all. In fact, it looks like it's become part of their exploration. It's fascinating to watch how these beetles interact with the different textures, both the fruit and the metal. We'll give them some more time to see how their interest develops. We'll check back in 12 hours to see what's changed. Stay tuned for the next update as our experiment continues. Act 2. Progress. It's been 12 hours since we placed the date fruit into the habitat, and just look at how the beetles have responded. Both pieces of fruit are now surrounded by beetles, with even more of them joining in for a meal. You can see that the beetles have really started to dig into the date fruit. They've eaten through some of it, leaving visible marks where they've been feeding. The screw, which is still there, hasn't slowed them down one bit. They're climbing over it as they continue to explore and feed. The second piece of fruit has also been a big hit. It even looks like the beetles have moved it a bit as they've been eating away at it. Both pieces are clearly popular, and the number of beetles here has grown as more of them have joined the lunch. Let's take a moment to compare what we had 12 hours ago to what we see now. It's impressive to see how much progress they've made in just 12 hours. The beetles are clearly enjoying their meal, and it'll be interesting to see how much more they can eat in the next 12 hours. Stay tuned as we check back to see the final results.
Act 3. Results. It's been 24 hours since we first introduced the date fruit to our peanut beetles, and just look at what's happened. The piece that was in the back has now been moved to the front, and you can see that both pieces have been heavily eaten. The beetles have clearly enjoyed this treat. It's impressive to see how quickly the beetles have eaten through these fruits. They've been very active, and more beetles have joined in as time went on. The screw we saw earlier is now almost hidden under the beetles, so I had to clean it off for you to see what's left of the fruit. You can really see how much they've eaten in just one day. The piece of fruit that was at the back before has been moved to the front, probably pushed by all the beetles crowding around it. Both pieces have been chewed through, with big chunks missing. It's clear that the beetles found this food to their liking. This experiment shows just how much the beetles like the date fruit. They've eaten through a lot of it in just 24 hours, and their activity hasn't slowed down. Now it's time to clean up and get ready for the next experiment. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed seeing how the beetles reacted to the date fruit, be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment with your ideas for what food we should try next. If you stayed till now, I have some bonus content for you. And here it is. This is all that's left of the fruit after a few more days. See you in the next beetle adventure.